Jordy, I got a story for you.
Yeah?
A Drew story. Oh, that's what
snap.
episode this is.
I see what you did there.
Man, that was clever, right?
That was pretty clever.
Who's the Conan? No, not me.
Who's the Richter?
Dude.
The Richter?
Man, it's friggin' hot out there, eh?
Oh, buddy.
Sorry, I'm half naked there, everybody.
Killing me here.
Ladies, try to stay calm.
Too fat for this nonsense, man.
Yeah, you are.
I'm built for like Nordic shit.
Yeah.
Like Iceland and friggin'.
Man, it's friggin' hot though. Summer is finally here. I think it's kind of fitting that we have Drew Storey coming up here because he's got some great summertime music, man.
Yeah.
Like you go on a road trip and shit, put the windows down, put on some Drew Storey. What I'm digging, man, is that this guy, he's kind of like a sleeper agent with his music. You know what I mean? Like he'll hook you in there with the familiarity of like the pop sounds, you know, like the singable choruses, you know, that kind of shit, right? Which is awesome. But then, just like that song Merch that he has, you can just hear how musically intelligent he is. Like, I mean, obviously, hats off to the producer that, you know, helped with that as well. But man, it's so beautiful the way it's all crafted and fits together with his lyrics and everything. He's got key changes in there. The
His
different
vocals are so
instrumentation.
smooth, too.
Oh, his vocals are... Yeah, his performance too, man. Nailed it.
Yeah.
Didn't even want to hear it afterwards. He's like, "Oh,
Bang,
it's
right.
good." I'm like, "All right."
I love
sick.
that attitude he had too,
Yeah.
where it's like, yeah, just, you know, you only get to play it live once while you're there in that time and place, so just go for it, and however it comes out is how it comes out. He's, you know, I like that attitude.
Exactly, man.
It's very the opposite of how I would be stressing over everything, you know, like
I'm the same way.
So
Whenever I'd watch one of those live concert DVDs or something like that, I'd always be like horrified of doing something like that myself. Like I would not want a whole concert taped and then put out.
Michael W. Smith live. Oh man, from the 90s.
Yeah, yeah.
One thing I know, everybody's gotta see it to so.
I really hope
It
I don't have
doesn't
to pay for
sound
the rights.
anything like that.
Yeah, I don't think
So-
it does. But I know there's no rules here on the Postcard Podcast. But
I'm breaking one of them. If there was.
maybe singing Michael W. Smith should be one.
Oh, fair enough.
I mean, you should be doing it. Like that's a rule. Every
Yeah,
episode.
man, that's what I've brought up on. Man.
I know.
I can't help it.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Stuck
man.
in my head forever.
It's all right. But no, man, like I say, sleeper agent. His music is going to hook you, but then it's going to keep you with the substance, man. He's got great substance in his music. And you know what we can say affinitively? Affinitively? I like that word.
Depends what you're saying.
What did I say?
Definitively.
But I was going to say something you didn't know what I was going to
Definitively
say.
is what you're.
So I said definitively?
You should.
That would
say
work too, but I think
definitively.
affinitively. Okay, let me just finish the sentence and we'll see if it worked. I think we can affinitively. I can't even pronounce it now. Fuck. You know what? I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to use that word.
Definitively is the word. you're looking
Definitively.
for.
Okay, fine. It just sounds so boring. I want it to sound smart.
You will if you say it the right word.
But no, because I'm going to leave all this shit in now of me not figuring it out. We can definitively or affinitively or affirmatively.
That works.
We can affirmatively say Drew Storey has substance because we got into one of the deepest real conversations with a guest ever. And it just happened, man. And I didn't really mean for it to go like that. Maybe I was asking questions, but it just happened. It was beautiful and it was great, right?
It was natural for me, man, because that's
Yeah.
how I talk to people. I don't really know how to bullshit and like talk about random shit. I talk about stuff that's meaningful to me, or
Honestly, like it was a really great conversation.
yeah,
I felt it, man. And Drew, thank you so much for coming out. You're always welcome back, of course. Let's just get right into it, Jordy, eh?
yeah.
There's no use beating around the bush
No,
or chasing down the chimpanzee or what? Isn't that
that's awesome.
is that what they say?
Fuck, I'm using that.
Don't chasing down the chimpanzee. I think it's too long. You need to abbreviate it. The chimps. Chasing down the chimps.
Chasing the chimp.
Chasing the that's
There's no beating around the
That
bush.
sounds
or
bad.
Chasing the chimp.
like, yeah, me and Jordy were in the bushes one night
Or
playing
peeling
chase
the
the chimp.
banana. Or dip your banana in yogurt.
What?
You've never done this?
Well, yeah, but I
I
just
did it
don't know why
once
you're
to the
bringing that
horror
up.
of my coworker.
Yeah,
It's like, you do that again, we're going to have problems kind of thing. Do not dip it in chocolate pudding.
Oh, dude.
Again, I did that also to the horror
Saith
of
the
my
Lord.
coworker.
Saith the Lord. Classic.
Again, Don't put
No, that was great. I would definitely won't put that in there. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. We had a great time with Drew Storey on the Poets Garden podcast.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, there we
Remember?
go. That's better. Everybody can hear themselves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh. You actually do have a... Yeah, do that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
It's
a smooth...
good timbre.
That's a smooth, sultry voice. You could
Thank
probably do radio, man.
My mom was actually in radio for pretty much her entire life. Z95, she was the DJ
What?
in the 90s. Sabrina Del Rey was her.
Sabrina Del Rey.
And she also was on News 1130 and things like
interesting.
that. So
Wow.
you might have heard her. Maybe I inherited something.
I'm sure I did,
Wow.
yeah. Like, Zed in the 90s is probably the... Yeah, that's probably the only time I
Oh,
listened
yeah.
to it.
LG 73.
Yeah.
You get the sticker from 7-Eleven or whatever, and if you put it on your car and they saw you... What was it?
Yeah, that's right.
So it had something to do with Playland or something, too. Or the PM.
Yeah, I can't remember. That's crazy. Was she like a morning anchor or?
To be completely honest, she's told me, because she worked at so many different stations, but she's told me all this stuff, and probably at an age where I wasn't really paying attention. I feel bad to admit that right now. But like growing up, I realized how cool it is. Like that is a career where it's like, it's not the same anymore. And to be like working at like a really cool station like that at that time is like, I got to put more respect on her for that. I'm going to ask her when I go home tonight, and I'll message you guys about that.
Sure, yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, because I did listen. I keep thinking the names Nat and Drew in my head.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was Zed or something else. But
They were in the morning.
anyway, whatever. But
She
that's
was,
cool.
She
That's
was
cool.
the morning on News 1130. I
Yeah.
know that.
Well, there you go. It runs in the family, man.
That's trippy, man.
Hey, Jordy, how's
Hi.
it going over there?
Oh, I'm hot.
I got something to tell you.
Yeah.
We have a guest today named Drew Storey.
Oh.
Welcome, sir. How's it going?
Hey, it's going great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here, man. You busted here, which is sick.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I
Going
mean,
green.
I would love to say it's for that reason, and it's nice in theory.
Yeah.
I'm 20 years old and still don't have my license. I was going to
that's
try and avoid that, but I'm working on it. That's all I can say.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Take your time. Take your time. Honestly, like it's so expensive, especially nowadays for
Yeah.
new drivers. Like, because my daughter is 18. I think her insurance just came down after a couple years of having a vehicle insured, and now it's like $280 a month. I think she said, and I was like, "What? Like that's with a discount?"
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Because like old farts like us, like I don't know about you, but I'm paying like what 130. Is that what you're paying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, whatever. So yeah, no rush, man. Just
Also,
milk it
I
as long
think
as
the
you can.
older you are, the better before you start driving, too. Like, I have a controversial theory.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's very controversial.
Okay. Yeah.
16, too young to drive, maybe. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
I don't think the brain's, like, built up enough to... That's not true either.
I mean, some 16-year-olds, yeah.
How are you
maybe
gonna
it shouldn't be a
learn
flat,
to do something if you don't practice, right? And you don't start early. Like
Maybe it
those
should
guys
be
on the
across the
farm
board.
in like Calgary or something, right?
Yeah.
Like they're
because
you know,
there's
5
very
years
different
old.
16-year-olds out there.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean?
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was the like chronically anxious kind, and like that's
Okay,
actually
yeah.
why. So it was
Yeah.
at a time where like I was taking like crazy hard classes in school, and then after my classes, I'd be like stressing out in a test. I'd immediately get into a vehicle and have to learn how to drive. I was like having actual panic attacks,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
I moved away to go to college, and where I was walking across the street to go to school.
Oh, nice.
So now that I'm back, I'm definitely going for it. But it was just circumstantial
Yeah.
of like the last like 4 years or whatever, being like,
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
wasn't the time.
Dude, yeah. I totally get it, man. With the anxiety that you felt, like, driving, like, is this something that, like, started off in your childhood and kind of stuck with you? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm generally, and we can totally go into this today.
we don't have to. I don't know.
I'm genuinely like, I feel like the more I talk about it and the more I own like who I am honestly and can like feel comfortable telling people that,
Totally.
it's like, it makes my life so much easier.
And honestly, the reason I was asking is because I think it's something both me and Jordy definitely relate to.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we talk about it all the time that we started this because we're just like always trapped in our own heads all
Yeah.
the time, and we just forced ourselves to get out there and talk to people, right? So that's kind of why I was asking because I was picturing myself as you were talking.
Totally. So I've always been a super anxious kid. I mean, I think the word, which is like, it can be rough. I think the word sensitive was thrown around a lot as I grew up. I was very much considered a sensitive kid, which of course led me to the arts and things like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just had a tough time. Like I'm afraid of a lot of things that people aren't, and I get nervous really fast. And so at that time in my life when it's like kind of the ending phases of high school, and there's so much different pressure on you, and I could barely handle like regular stress. So it was just for me it was just the culmination of that. I think I actually didn't really have any terrible experiences. Like I never got into like a crash or anything when I was younger or anything like that. But I think it was just like general anxiety that I had always had that just boiled over at that point in my life. And I was like, guys, I had to say to my parents, like, and I went to therapy for it too. Like I really did for like 2 straight years. I would go Mondays after school and talk about why I couldn't get over this thing. Because I want to, and I want to drive and whatever. But it was one of those times where I had to say to my parents, I'm like, I know that this is hard for you to understand because you haven't been through this, but I'm having a hard time just functioning day to day when I think about the fact that this thing is coming up. Yeah. So if you guys could just back off and like, I'm not trying to be a disappointment or anything like that. And I'm not trying to ask you guys to drive me around. Like I picked up, like now I bus everywhere. I'm not trying to put that burden on them because I get it. Like in theory, most people would have their license by now. But yeah, I was just like, guys, I'm at a point, like I wasn't really functioning at that point in terms of like stress management, if that makes any sense.
Totally, man. Totally. Yeah.
That's very wise.
How old are you?
20.
What?
No, but see, that's what's great about nowadays too, is because so many people talk about it. And like, I know there's like so many memes out there too, where it's just like, shut up about your anxiety.
Yeah, totally.
And I actually find that funny too. But it is funny because I think like when we were growing up, there was no awareness of it or really talking about it. It was just like, oh, like my kid's sensitive, or he just cries a lot for no reason and whatever. Yeah. And that's fine too. But like, yeah, me, like I used to work construction. So I'd be working with all these, real men. Yeah. And there'd be days where, man, I would have the same, like panic attacks. I'd burst out like crying. Guys are trying to talk to me. Like I remember like a foreman just like really nice guy, but like sitting there looking at me, trying to understand like what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
I can't even talk because of everything. And anyway, so I think it's great to talk about for sure, man. And I was going to ask too, like, so like growing up with this anxiety, like, did you find peace in your music then? Once you discovered you could,
absolutely. Yeah? For me, going back to the point of like, before I named it as like anxiety later in life, and to be completely honest, I'm not diagnosed with any disorder or anything like that. I don't mean to claim the space of anybody who is. Yeah. I probably should, to be completely honest, go in and get checked because all the signs are there. But I'm not trying to claim something or self-diagnose. But before I had named it as like anxiety or whatever and panic attacks, yeah, it was really just that word sensitive being thrown around all the time. And I found that like music was the only place where, whether it was adults in my life or my peers or whatever, respected me for being sensitive. And there was power in having deep feelings. Every other part of my life, it was like I would say like something hurt my feelings and people would be like, well, you're a loser for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
totally.
When it was music,
Toughen
and
up, kid.
Totally, every single time. And so when it was music, and I'd pour my heart out and almost start crying in a song, people were like actually resonating with that, and I found so much like, finally, I could say the things that I wanted to say, and somehow music allowed people to like drop their preconceived ideas and like listen to what I was saying. It was just a medium of it just worked. And I don't know why, but it really felt like the only way that I could relate to people who wouldn't listen otherwise. It was like I could say things in a song that if I said the same lyrics just written out on a piece of paper, they would dismiss. Right. But if music was attached, they got tricked into listening. And I don't understand it, but...
Dude, that's sick, man. I love the way you say that. What the power. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No.
Okay.
Please, dude.
My mom said that I was a very, what's the word she used? I can't remember. But I had a lot of anxiety as a child. Like, I was very timid and, like, but I used humor to, like, one guy called me Hammy or whatever because that's all I knew how to do is just goof off. And that's the only way I could relate to people was seeing them smile or anything like that, right? But then music totally fucking like was an outlet too for me for a long time, so I'm very thankful for that. I sound very somber right now.
That's fine, Joey.
You're good.
That's fine.
I'm feeling that though.
This is the Postgarden Podcast.
This is the perfect time to give James a gift. No.
You want to do it? We'll just
give
it a couple minutes. I don't know what's in here.
Because I feel stupid now.
I just don't know.
No, okay. You're not stupid. I'm feeling the exact same way, just thinking about things. And I think that like that's the good thing. Like you don't move past those things like until you talk about them and think about them. So.
Yeah, totally, man. Totally.
We had to do a lot of hard work though too, like labor, like. So I think just being around people that had to do that, and you have to force yourself. Like my dad would always say when I was a kid, like he was tough, right? Like, but like he was also a sports guy, and he was missing teeth from hockey.
Yeah,
and, like, so like, yeah, my whole family's like that, right? And just what am I trying to say, man?
Like the suck it up mentality.
Yeah, well, totally.
Yeah.
You're afraid to get your hands dirty, Jordy. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like go out and do out the garden and turn the soil, or because I hated doing that shit.
Totally.
When I was
Yeah.
sick.
The thing is,
like-
I actually agree with the suck it up mentality because I understand life is hard and
Yeah.
it's tough and you're going to go through shit and you got to go through it and you got to deal with it, right? The thing is, for people like me, is when you have enough of that anxiety that's completely just dominating your life in every aspect of life too, like you have no peace from it, that's when you start getting the thoughts nothing fucking matters anymore. Like, like actually one time I like had the panic attack. And then I was just like, I'm sick of doing this to people. I'm sick of letting people down and people looking at me like I'm fucked in the head. And I just left work.
But that was after a lot of
I know, but this is
build up for
I know.
your whole life.
But that's I know. So this is what I'm saying. Like with the suck it up mentality, it's like I do agree with it, but there is a point to it where it's like, okay, no, there has to be a limit to how much you can suck up before you get help.
Yeah,
right?
if
You know
it's
what I mean?
if it's debilitating, that's like a whole other thing, and
exactly.
it does get like that. So
Yeah.
I agree on the day to day. Suck it up is super valid because the world would like if we actually stopped every single time we were slightly bothered, the world would not function. And totally.
Yeah.
But for the small percentage that it like nobody enjoys having debilitating panic attacks, but if you are having that, like you got to acknowledge it. Like you can't do anything else.
Exactly right. Yeah.
You got to deal with it. Like I know for me, I had to go to rehab for help, right? Because I snapped at a certain point, man. Like straight up could not breathe. My mind was disconnected from my body, and like, for months and months on end, not thinking you can't breathe is like torturous, right? So it'll fuck you up, man, right? So, but I learned how to do breathing exercises and whatever, writing journals. There's so many different tools you can use, right? And even just time away from normal life for you or whatever, right? Your environment is so important.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Definitely, man. Okay. Oh, you're looking to me? Okay.
I don't know what I'm doing, man.
I hear you.
Environment is very important.
It is cool. Man, I like this. We just went right into the deep shit. Eh? Like, holy fuck.
I'm with that. I mean,
Cool.
In a way, I kind of feel like within my life, if I'm not going right to and I get that not everybody's like that, and I genuinely really appreciate you guys' time and your openness to be like that right now. Because for me, if we're not talking like this, and we don't clear the air and kind of set that this is the baseline of who I am, it becomes just me trying to hide that the whole time. And I'm not actually having a conversation with you. I'm trying to play like hide and go seek so you don't find that out.
Totally.
So if I just say,
Yeah.
like, this is what I struggle with, well, then we can move on to, okay, here's all the other beautiful things about my life or your life or whatever, rather than me just literally trying to hide that whole time. So
Exactly, man. Exactly.
That's a really smart way to say that.
Totally. And I think the beautiful thing, at least in your life, that I've seen come out of it is the beautiful music that you make.
Thank you.
That was a great segue. Actually, I just want to throw this right out there. My favorite song of yours, which I discovered after listening to your stuff. So after you were already invited, I was already impressed, but then I discovered your song, Merch. And I don't know why, man, but I know why. It just, I related to it, man. I really love how you convey your ideas through that song, like the lyrics and everything. And I know that was like an older song. It probably came out, 3 years ago? I think?
Yeah.
So you were like 17 when it came out?
It was, I think I was in like grade 11, maybe going into grade 12, like something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, see, and I was like trying to keep that in mind while I was listening to it, and I was just like, "Holy shit, man! Like this is deep. And
those chord changes,
yes,
the key changes,
the build too, like
sick. And then near the end, it just
yeah." And it was funny. Actually, everyone listening, check out this song, Merch, if that's okay.
Yeah,
are you okay with people checking that out? Okay,
totally.
Because like sometimes I might bring up a song that an artist might be like, "Oh, actually, yeah, I don't like that song."
You know what's crazy is. That is, and I've been putting out, which we can kind of talk later about, but I've been putting out music since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And Merch has less streams than anything. It is the lowest one. And I know that we could get into a whole conversation of, art and streams, the quality of art does not equate. Totally. Like maybe like 6 months ago, I was like, should I take this song down? Like I fell into the trap of like, if nobody's listening, does it suck? But 2 of my close friends and now 3
Hey, there you go.
have said that they liked it and that it meant something. And honestly, I would rather have a song that 3 people resonate with than like 3,000 people sort of like. So it's like,
totally.
That it means a lot that you took the time to say that, because there are days where I'm like, is this song cringe? Like, I don't know, but like it was real when I was going through that. It's still real looking back on it. So
totally, man, totally, yeah. And I can hear that in your voice too. Like you're still singing very, smoothly and
you
beautiful.
got a smooth voice, man.
Yeah, but I don't know, like, because I can tell that it's coming from a place of pain, like, and but just the way that you crafted it, I don't know. I'm a big fan of that too, where you have some pain, you have a little bit of darkness, but it's put in this positive sounding song, like the melody and everything. And then with the build, like it's inspiring. It's inspiring in the sense that someone else who has gone through shit is going to listen to that and identify with it, right?
That's amazing, man.
So yeah. Anyway, props to you. I love the song Merch, man.
That's all I could want is when I went into the studio to record that, I was actually bringing in some total other cheesy, random, like basic love song.
Yeah.
And then he was like, the guy I was working with was like, show me something else. He's like, you've done that before. Show me something else.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. And he's like, well, okay, then what's the most recent thing you've written? And so I showed him that, and it wasn't finished. Like it wasn't, I just had certain parts to it. And he was like, okay, that's real. Like that is real. And he's like, I can respect if, you're still in high school and all this stuff, and you don't want the social pressure of, what if those kids who are making fun of you or whatever find this song? It would be the perfect ammunition, essentially, with you confessing all the ways you feel. But also within the song, I'm also acknowledging that what they're doing is not cool. So it would be ironic for them to then make fun of it, because then it's just completing the cycle, right? They're acting exactly like that. But he was like, I could see why you wouldn't want to put this out, but he was like, I really think you should. Because, it would also be weird if I dropped that song like 40 years from now. It wouldn't hit the same as the fact that I recorded it at the time that I was going through that.
Totally. Yeah,
so, I mean, no, I really appreciate. Yeah, I already said that, but I really do appreciate that you guys checked it out and gave it a listen.
Totally, man. It is a great song. It's absolutely breathtaking, actually. Yeah, and I love the fact that it's like 3/4. Sorry, is it 3/4 or 6/8?
I don't even
know. Okay.
You could debate that to the end of time.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
They're
but anyway,
the same thing, aren't they?
It's basically.
I know.
I don't.
Like I know it's different when I'm choosing drums for my recordings.
Yeah.
A 3/4 beat versus a 6/8 beat. So I get that, but I don't know. I don't have enough theory knowledge. We need Shane here, I guess.
Yeah.
Shane.
I mean, Shane and I both just completed at the same time, like different schools, but 2 years of music schooling, and somehow he knows so much, so much more. I'm like, bro. Oh. You were paying more attention than I was. I was like writing songs while in class, so sometimes wasn't paying them.
That's cool. Well, what else is music school good for then, right?
Yeah.
So that's awesome, man. And we are talking about Shane Terry right now.
Yeah.
Who is a guest on our second episode? Yeah. So
Of the season, yeah.
Yeah, you guys were actually playing together. I wanted to come. You guys were playing at the Roxy together, right? Yeah. How did that show go?
It was fun.
Yeah.
The Roxy's interesting as a venue because it's like a really great opportunity for small artists to play like a good sound system with like a good mixing engineer, and like it's a cool space with cool lighting and stuff.
Yeah.
The time slot, which I totally get why it works that way. There, every single night of the week is the actual headlining time slot when people start showing up is always like the house band that plays covers all night.
Okay.
So really, it's like if you're in the opening slot, you're playing at like 7:30 and nobody's there. If you're in the headlining slot, which is what I've been the last couple times, that's like 8:45 to 9:30, and it's like still maybe like 20 25 people are there, which I'm not trying to sound ungrateful for. Like to anybody who has come, that like from the bottom of my heart means so much that anybody would take the time to do that. But then the second that you get off stage, the house band goes and suddenly the room is shoulder to shoulder, and it's like, oh, what am I doing? So I love that the Roxy has had us out. And that is also on my fault. Like I can't be like, why am I not selling more tickets when I'm barely promoting things and I'm kind of like, and things like that. But I'm really grateful that the Roxy has had us out. In terms of the shows, it's like, I mean, Shane's band, well, Shane's insane by himself, and then with a band, you can't even imagine. Like it's like it's nuts. And then to get to follow that and just kind of share my music, I really enjoy those shows a lot. I mean, it's always fun to play on a bill with your friends. Like that's so cool, especially like friends that you like. Like I genuinely love his music. Like I listen to it. I have friends in music where I don't really resonate with the music, but I absolutely respect the effort. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
you know, I don't like this genre, but I can acknowledge it's like cool for the genre, but it's not my thing.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
Shane's music is my thing. And
Yeah,
so it's like
yeah.
when you get to play on a bill like that, it's like on those days I was more excited to see his set than to play my own, to be completely honest. Like
Oh, cool.
I just like the fact that I got to go for free to his concerts.
Sweet.
But I'm also excited to play my set. I'm not really a party guy at all. So like bars and stuff like that, like I play and I leave. I try and meet as many people who are there because it does mean a lot to me to connect with people who made the effort to come out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not like Roxy's super cool, but I get overstimulated. It's not my scene, so I just kind of head out and go back to Langley and pass out.
That's cool, man. Nothing wrong with that, too.
I heard you guys playing Freebird. That was pretty kick-ass.
Hey, thank you.
Oh, yeah, on the ski hill.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah,
That was
that's
sick.
That was a really special thing. That was probably one of the coolest things we got to do. I was living in Nelson, BC, if you guys know where that is at all. Yeah. That's where my college was. And there's a ski hill out there called Whitewater, and they needed a band to kind of play their like beer festival that was happening. And by chance we got chosen. And yeah, that was like the last song that we played. It was so sick because at that mountain where we play, there's like, I don't know, probably like 4 or 5 like, I don't ski, so what would you call them? Slopes, like around us. So people are coming in towards us skiing while we're playing Freebird. It's so fun.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. And you guys were nailing it too, man. Like I showed Jordy, like, dude, check this out.
That was badass.
Yeah. That was sick, man.
That's cool. All Jaden in my band, who's the lead guitar player, like he carries that song. Like I'm playing power chords of like whatever underneath, but like, yeah, like it is really cool to get to play an iconic song and do it really well, and I genuinely fully credit that to Jaden for learning that whole solo.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, definitely he was ripping it up. But I mean, the fact that all of you guys, I didn't like. To me, I could have closed my eyes and thought I was listening to the original.
Yeah, it sounded so good.
Everything sounded
perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good shit, man.
Then I pick up my guitar and what the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah, Jordy really sucks. Like he's horrible. I have to be mean to Jordy at least once every episode.
That's I bet you could play Freebird better than me. Nope. I'm not a lead player. Like I genuinely forget my pentatonic scale every day. So
yeah,
no, I'm not a lead guy for sure.
Well, you can dabble. Like you can
dabble.
You can dabble more than me.
I can dribble.
I'm
on the guitar.
like when I do a lead line for one of my songs, because I would like record everything myself, do all the instruments, and I'd have this idea for like a lead line. It would just be like a little simple like 4-bar thing, and not technical at all. But I'd want to be able to do it with some pizzazz, you know, like maybe a little bit of a bend or a little bit of a hold or whatever. And so I would practice for like weeks, just that one part. Like I would come home from work and just sit there for a couple hours, like, okay, I'm getting it. And then after that, okay, time to record it. And then I would record it. And then I would listen back and be like, I don't like it. And I would just delete it, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's how I am on guitar. So I'm sure you're way better than me.
Oh, no, I genuinely am not a lead player. Like, I grew up busking and playing solo acoustic at, like, restaurants and stuff like that. So, like, I'm basically an acoustic, and you can hear it in my playing, which I should, like, you got to treat acoustic and electric as different instruments, and I don't. Like, I very much play an electric like I'm playing an acoustic. Like, I'm kind of heavy-handed and playing very open chords. I mean, it's not that you can't do that, but, like, in theory, like, if you treat them, like, in an arrangement way, different, like, you're probably going to sound better when playing in a group or whatever, but I'm very much, like, my style of playing is an acoustic guitar player that sometimes plays songs on electric.
Right. Yeah. No, I totally get you, too. I'm like that when I play electric, too. Very heavy-handed, because I don't use a pick, either.
Oh, cool.
Well, I think we might take a short little break here to hear from our sponsor. We still got that sponsor, so we'll be right back with Drew Storey. Yeah, peace. Okay, we're outside the Penny Coffee Shop here in downtown Mission, First Ave. We're going to film a little ad for them today for the podcast. They have no idea. This is going to be great. How do I look? Let's do this. It's the Penny. How sick this place is. They got merch, too. This would be a perfect gift for a loved one, eh? I guess we should stand in line. What, you want to try one?
Yeah.
Are you buying them? Because I don't have much money.
I'll buy them.
Hey, how's it going? Pretty good. This is a cool place.
Oh, thanks.
It's my first time in here.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah.
There's so many kind of cool things to look at down here.
There is, right? You guys have a really good gluten-free brownie that I've heard, too.
Yes, it is very good. Would you like one of those?
If you have, can we get 2 of those? Yeah, I heard about you
here.
guys on the Poets Garden podcast. Have you heard of that?
No, I have not.
It's like a local podcast, I think, from Mission.
Oh,
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I'm sure our bosses have probably heard it. Yeah, I don't really listen to podcasts, but.
I'm just gonna try almost there. Thank you so much.
No problem. Have a great day.
We'll see you guys. Let's go. We got it, man.
That was close.
Dude, we got it, man. That was intense. I think they're gonna call the police now. Let's go. Oh, hey, and we're back.
Are we there
How's
yet?
it going, guys? I feel like this might be a good time to open this gift that Jordy has brought me. Hold it up for the camera to see. I have no idea what's in here, so this is going to be a 100% genuine expression on my face.
Even though it's written right on there.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, shit.
Penny farthing? I have no idea what that is.
What?
Never heard of it.
Dude, I thought it would be right up your alley, man.
Is it breakable?
Because you like old stuff. You know?
Oh, no way. Oh, dude.
It's like...
Is that what you call
that's
these
sick.
cycles?
Yeah.
A penny farthing?
penny farthing?
Wow, I didn't know that.
Pretty cool, man.
That is really cool.
I thought it would go well in this space.
Oh, it definitely will.
It
Oh, we'll
matches
find
the
a space.
balloon over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh,
And the old phone and everything. And like,
I gotta find a gnome that I can fit on here.
yeah.
Man. Hell yeah. Oh, thanks, buddy. That's sick.
man.
That's very cool. Or is this like this is the piece that you're gonna contribute to the space?
Yeah.
We just did an episode with loops, and the guy recommended that Jordy bring something here so that it feels like it's his space too.
Right.
So that's what this is. This is like an underhanded way
I guess.
of you taking ownership of
Yeah.
my creation. Thanks, Jordy. I'm just kidding. Oh, that's very cool. So a penny farthing. We learned something new today. I didn't know that. Very cool.
Guy,
So, Mr. Storey, you have been a busy guy. I noticed May, like it's coming to an end, but you still have one more show coming up, right?
Yeah, I guess on the 31st, I'm playing at Trading Post off of, there's like 3 Trading Post locations. The one
Right.
that's on like 64th in Langley, if that makes any sense. There's like a, near like a Costco and like a Walmart in Langley and stuff like that.
That's really close to the Bez Art.
Yeah. It's
okay,
totally,
cool.
like, unless I'm totally misplacing it in my mind, I believe that is where it is, and I'm going
Right.
to find out that day.
Speaking of that, have you been out to the Bez before for their open mics?
I grew up. That was the second open mic I ever went to, but
Oh, nice.
Like that was the first place I ever played. It wasn't really a band; it was just friends from high school trying to like do a cover or whatever. That was the first time I ever played in a group in front of an audience. Was at Bez.
Oh, very cool. Yeah,
Very
yeah.
cool space.
Awesome. Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely love it there, man. Have you been back recently at all?
I'm actually going with Shane on Thursday, and that's
Oh,
the first time I've
awesome.
been since the pandemic, which is crazy.
Wow. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Very
because I
cool.
think I went there in 2018 and 2019, and maybe like January 2020. But yeah, I haven't been since.
Oh, that's something then to talk about too. The pandemic, man. Like, because you would have been in high school then,
Yeah, I think I was in grade 9.
grade 9. Wow. So, how long did you have to like lock down for?
You know what? Honestly, it's really like fuzzy, so I could be wrong on some of these details, but I remember there being about a year off of school, then another year where we were only in school for half the days of the week, and then the other days we were online. So like 1 year was completely online.
Wow,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
like the 2020 to 2021 year or whatever, the school year that happened during the pandemic, the next year we were rotating, and then the year after that we were back. And then quickly into that year, it sort of got back to normal.
Okay.
Maybe not socially, but in terms of
Right,
like
right.
like rules and like mandates and stuff, it got a lot more like how it was. It's
Right,
weird. Like I actually think that, and I've talked to a couple of people who relate to this. Maybe this is kind of weird and cerebral, but like I think that something happened mentally, almost as like a defense mechanism, where that passage of time blanked in my brain. Like I remember it feeling like it went on forever at the time, but when I look back on it, like those like 3-ish years, like it's actually hard for me to be like, and then on this day I did this thing, and it's like it just
Right.
blurred. Like it,
So, yeah. No, I get you.
even when things lightened up, like it's so different than my life is now that it feels like someone's telling me a story about someone else rather than it having actually happened to me. If that, like I
Right.
totally dissociated. I think
Yeah.
that would be the right
Yeah,
phrase.
that makes a lot of sense,
It
man.
was a scary time, man.
Yeah.
I was a frontline worker too, so it was like, fuck, man.
Oh, man.
It was scary.
Yeah, it was an interesting time. How did you how did that go with your like working on music? Like, did you find that it helped having that time, or?
Yeah, I find that, so like I had been taking like lessons and things like that. I have a older sister who's super into musical theater, and my parents had put me into every single sport, and I was terrible. I was really terrible. Not just a terrible player, but I had a terrible attitude, to be completely honest. I was probably like one of the brattiest little kids ever. There's like a story of like I don't know whether it was hockey or soccer. My mom told me recently where like I was like a little kid. I don't even remember this. And I was like, I don't want to do anything where someone tells me what to do, was my response to my coach. I'm like, I want to do what I want to do every day on my own rules, which is like crazy. Like I promise you guys I'm not like that now, but I was like very much like that. So I think that honestly, looking back, was probably me coping with the fact that I sucked. So then I pretended like I didn't want to be there. You know what I mean? It's well, I'm not good at this, so I'm going to pretend like I don't care about this. When really, I remember being like, oh, why am I worse than everybody? And things like that. But yeah, where that came in is eventually when I was like 8 or 9, I started taking vocal lessons because my older sister was. And one day we were picking her up from that. She would have been like 10 or 11, and I said to my mom, like, I want to try this. And then I did. So from that point until I was like in grade 9, I was taking lessons. I was writing songs, co-writing with my vocal instructor a lot of the time. And then I picked up ukulele when I was like 12 or 13. Sweet. And then I pivoted to guitar. And then I picked up some keys. And so when the pandemic hit, it was kind of perfect for me. Like a lot of people talk about when it first happened, that being the scariest part, kind of like what you were saying. I had quite the opposite experience. When it first happened, we were all on spring break, anybody who was in school. So we were on spring break, and we were told that spring break was now going to become summer break, and we were going to come back the next year. And I was like, yes. There was no mention, of course, there was no mention of online school because they hadn't planned that. They were just like, you're not coming back until next fall. And all me and my friends were like, let's hop on Fortnite. Like, I'm telling you, that's the age we were. Whatever game or whatever. But at the same time, I was really into music. I just loved it. So I didn't mind being in my room, waking up at whatever. It didn't matter. I could wake up at 1 p.m. and stay up till 4 a.m. and just be like playing songs in my room with GarageBand. I'm very lucky that at that time, right before that had happened, my parents got me. I had been using my mom's old MacBook for the longest time, and she had to work from home now. So suddenly she's like, you can't be using my computer all the time. And I was using it on GarageBand every day at that time. So my parents, I'm very lucky that they did this, got me my own at that time. Sweet. And that throughout those 2 years, I was just producing in GarageBand, writing and arranging as much as I could. Awesome. All of it was pretty terrible, but to have that process for like 2 years is like, I'm so grateful for it now.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Very cool.
It seemed like you released a song every year or something when I go on Spotify. And it's like...
Yeah, starting in 2015.
Yep.
2015.
2016.
Your first single, California. A good idea.
Oh, man. So that's the stuff that I'm talking about. The school that I went to is called Song of Stars, and it's a company that was based in Vancouver that had just opened a Langley location when my sister started going. Those are the only 2 locations they have, Vancouver and Langley. They're still a great community. I love it there. I'm actually hoping to do some work there soon. Cool. I had an interview recently for that, so kind of full circle for me. Sweet. But growing up, it was like they had an option there where for like a reduced price, you could get at the end of the year a photo shoot and a studio recording of a song for a certain price. And my parents were like, okay, we had all this money set aside for sports for him or after school activities. He's not really doing anything. So let's tell him he seems to love writing songs. Let's tell him he can record 1 song a year. And my parents paid for that up until like 2019, and then onwards I started paying for that and trying to keep up. That's why I haven't released a song of a year necessarily since. Like, it's been a little bit more spotty because now I'm paying. But my mom actually, like, I love my mom so much, and she is still, I'll be completely honest, I don't open up about this very often, but she's still chipping in here and there when it comes to those recordings. That's and so helping me if I can't. Like, let's say I need $2,000 for studio time, let's just say, and I made it to like $1,800 from like busking and playing gigs. She'll top up and basically give me a loan that has no interest that I can pay back within like the next year or something like that. That's and awesome. To have that support is like it actually, like, even like some people might be like, oh, $200, but like it's huge for me. Like when that is, you either can make your art in the studio or you can't. Like that's your savior right there,
Yeah,
helping
dude.
out with the.
That's amazing. That's awesome. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm 43 and my mom still chips in for stuff here and there, and like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I actually feel guilty about it.
Oh, I do too.
Well,
So
yeah.
I get upset about it. Like I'll be no, just no, don't do, and then I get like mad about it, and it's so stupid. Like just accept that this is where it is and be gracious,
Yeah.
And I have a really hard time with that.
You are being gracious at the same time. I think for me, like as a parent, so like I'm not in the boat. Like I don't remember my parents. I think the last thing my parents did for me was when I got married, they paid for the honeymoon or something. But like, so like when it comes to money, that's kind of been a thing. Like I don't remember getting any help really much with that. But with my own kids now, because I'm not good at saving money. As you can see, when I get money, I just buy fake Ivy.
This is pretty awesome.
Yeah. So with my oldest daughter, like I've been paying for her phone. Well, like both my daughters, I pay for their phones, and like I had always said once you graduate, you have to start paying your own phone.
Hey, that's the
bill,
same
right?
with my family.
Okay, yeah. Because I figured, you got teacher responsibility. But then I thought, you know what? Like so many parents are able to save, and like they have like an education fund, or they have something to pass on to their child. And like I started feeling really guilty about that as a parent. Like, oh man, yeah, like I should have had something. So then I decided, you know what? I told her, I said, I can keep paying your phone bill for as long as you need me to. I said, I don't care how long it takes. Just focus on what you want to do in life first, right? So that's kind of my little way of just, and I can tell you this, as a parent, that is not even a question of if it's a struggle for me or if I think I shouldn't, or like they should do it. So like I might joke about guilt tripping my daughter about that once in a while, maybe, because I probably will, knowing me, because I just do that. But it's just a no question. It's just like, yeah, like of course I'll do that, right? So like don't feel bad. I'm sure your mom and your mom are more than happy to chip in and help. Don't feel bad about that at all. Just think that like you'll have the opportunity to like repay that, whether it be you have your own children someday or a friend or whatever, right? Like you've chipped in, right?
I'm impotent, James.
Jordy brought me some whiskey and some rum.
I'll never have a child.
Whatever. Let's talk about that. Yeah. You're not impotent.
I'm just
what are you talking about?
No, I don't know. I was on the spot.
I was gonna go something really dark there, but anyway, all I was saying was I think that's beautiful, man. Don't feel bad about it. If your parents do want to chip in and help, because like I say, when parents do stuff like that for their child, it's not like I don't feel like I'm ever putting myself out. Even if I don't have the money to pay my daughter's phone bill, I never ever think like, oh, this is really putting me out, or it's not even I look at it at the same as like rent payment kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's a necessity.
It's just part of
your
system of what you need.
Maybe not all parents are like that, but yeah.
That's totally for me, I think for a while, especially in like early high school and stuff, I was more in your boat, and I think it's like a pride thing for me.
Oh yeah,
I kind of, particularly in music as well, I kind of felt like, and that's why I said earlier when I first said this, like I don't admit this to people, which now it's going to be public info, but that's fine.
I can always cut it.
No, that's totally fine. Is that for me? It was like, if this is so dumb and niche, but I grew up watching like so many like biopics and stuff of all my heroes, and you never hear about their parents helping them or anything. So for me, it was like, is my art invalid because my mom helped me? Do I need to go through the hero's journey of being like, I came from nothing? Then speaking to my mom more, she was like, honestly, it's more disrespectful to me when you turn it down, because I worked my whole life to be able to help you. And so when you don't allow me to do like with my money what I want, that actually does hurt my feelings, because that's what I saved it for, was to give my kids. Like my mom actually genuinely came from like nothing, and my grandparents are incredible people, and they gave her a lot of love, but they couldn't help financially. And my mom, like I can see it, like she's trying to right that wrong in my time, if that makes sense. Not wrong, but like trying to correct and have me not go through that. And so for a long time, with my ego, I was like, I don't want help. This is my thing. And I want people to look back on my story as he did it all by himself, and that makes him cool. That's so stupid. Like that, like get the help you need. And if people if they want to do that, like honor their will, you know what I mean? Like do.
Totally, yeah.
Like that's their life too. So I don't know. It's very complicated. Maybe my opinion would change tomorrow, but that's where I'm at right now.
Well,
Yeah, no, and for sure, man. It's such a kind of touchy subject. One thing I want to share, because it actually reminded me as we were talking about this. I don't. It's funny. This is called the Poet's Garden, but I don't actually like a lot of poetry per se, right? I like poetry put to music, but there is one poet who I've always loved, which is Edgar Allan Poe.
Oh yeah.
First time I read some of his work when I was in high school, I just remember like, wow, like just the darkness of it and the way he describes things. Also, like his like short stories, not just his poetry. But anyway, so sorry.
Yep. The Raven.
Yeah,
That's the only one I know.
Raven. Yeah, Quoth the Raven. But there was a biography written about him. Yeah, biography is where someone else writes for someone else, right? Autobiography is written by the person.
I'm actually not sure.
I don't know.
Good
It's a
question.
story about his life, but so they like did their research, and it was interesting. One thing about his entire life. So Edgar Allan Poe never really, made money and was successful for his entire life, right? He was kind of like Van Gogh that way, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Never really got to reap the rewards of his brilliance, kind of thing. So he was broke throughout most of his journey. And he had this estranged relationship with his father, or was it stepfather? I can't remember. But his stepfather or whatever was like very, very wealthy. And so back in his day too, people that were pursuing arts were treated as like outcasts back in the day. They were like whores or whatever, right? And like same kind of thing. Sorry, I mean, sex workers? Is that more politically? Sorry. I don't know. I'm just going from what I read in the
Artist
book.
was a sex worker.
No, sorry. If you were an artist back in the day, or like or like an actor or something like that, like in the theater, you were considered like an outcast, the same as someone would look at as sex worker,
Like in the
or a
same
drug
class
addict.
as-
Same class,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah,
Yes. Yeah. So I guess his father wasn't happy about him pursuing this or whatever. But anyway, Edgar Allan Poe, whenever he needed money, he would write these letters to his father, and the letters are actually in the book, so you can read his wording of what he sent to his father. And man. So you read the first couple and you're just like, wow, like I feel bad for him. Like he's groveling, like he's begging his father for this money because he's explaining like, I know you don't believe in what I'm doing and blah, blah, blah. But then each time too, he's basically saying like, I promise this is the last time. Like if you could just find it in your hearts. And of course he's writing it so poetically because he's a poet, right? But the thing is, he wrote like, I don't even know how many dozen of these letters over the years.
Last time.
Yeah, it was just like back and forth groveling. And I saw that and I thought, wow, because like I'm the type, I won't ask for help for anything. Doesn't matter if I'm about to be thrown out of here. I would never call up my dad or someone and be like, hey, I need to, like, can you loan me money, right? I just don't do that. I find a way. But then I thought about it and I was just like, wow, like I didn't know that about him at all. But that's what enabled him to keep going.
Right.
And create.
It didn't devalue the art to you after reading it.
It didn't, exactly, at all. It didn't devalue the art at all. It was like an eye-opener to me to just look at the human condition as a whole, right? And it's just like, yeah, like who did I think he was before I read any of that? I just imagined he was a brilliant, creative mind, right?
Yeah.
And that still holds true after finding out like all that out about him. But what it showed me was everyone probably has a story like that where it's less than glamorous or it's not the way the artist necessarily wants to be viewed or seen, right? But that's the beauty of it, is when you find out that stuff about people, which is kind of the project that we're doing here too, is just finding out about the person, right?
And ourselves.
Well, yeah, exactly, right? But that's the beautiful part of where the art comes from. So, I mean, if I was to go back now and read some of his short stories and stuff and imagine him writing them, knowing that intense struggle that he had of just like constantly worrying about finances and like, begging for money, basically. Anyway, I don't know. I'm just saying I wouldn't ever let anything about the human condition take away from your art, like, or think it's going to,
Right?
Because I think it's all part of it, right? It all melds. So
Totally. Yeah. And I love. I mean, that instills confidence in me. At the same time, I feel bad that I even still care. About that. You know what I mean? Like
Totally.
It actually is like narcissistic for me to be like, oh, someday when somebody's reading about me, they're gonna not like me because my mom gave me $200 on Tuesday, May 15th. Like,
right, yeah.
And it's like it's a waste of time. I think it's just an overthinking thing as well. Like, why am I even like? What am I scared of? But yeah, it is. It's really interesting. Like, it's weird that like I have this fascination with like watching stories or reading books. I read a lot of books. I watch a lot of movies about these legendary people that I look up to. And I'm like, well, my circumstance isn't like that. So does that cut me out? Like,
Right.
And it's weird. I don't know why. Like, and I think that's a human thing. Is like, when you want to do something, you're looking at who's done it and you're like, okay, what was their story? How can I replicate that so that I can fit in this idea of the thing I want to be? And then when you don't fit in for whatever reason, like mine is a huge benefit that I don't fit in. But like at the same time, mentally, it still messed with me. And it's like, it's silly. But yeah, I mean,
it is.
I think admitting that right now and like saying to people, like, I'll look into the camera, hey guys, some of those songs you like, my mom put money down on, and you can thank her for that. Like they
Thanks,
wouldn't,
Mom. Yeah,
no,
I'll thank her.
They wouldn't be there, and I think that like hiding that, she doesn't care. I think she would actually be fine if I never told anyone. But like I don't feel very respectful, like pretending like I paid every cent. I paid a lot of it, but not every cent. Yeah,
no, for sure, right? Yeah, and I like what you were saying, like when you looked at other artists and then looked at their story and you thought, well, I don't match up to that, you know. But and like I do that too. You know, some of my favorite artists with like their lyrics even too, and I think of like what kind of life experience did they have to even come up with those lyrics, and like I can't do that. And then you're sort of steering yourself away from being genuine as soon as you start doing that, right? Because then it's like, because like so many times I would produce a song that I would love, and then I would get this thought in my head like, oh, this is nothing like David Gray. Like David Gray himself would probably hear this and be like, it's just trash, you know. And that's the sad thing, because then you start forgetting that like you are your own person, and whatever you create is going to be its own thing. And it's okay. It's okay that it's different than all the other things, right? Yeah, it should be, exactly, right? In essence, we're talking about like how we compare ourselves to others all the time.
Yeah.
Right. But one thing I always try and understand too is like, even I could look at someone who say hasn't gone through the same trials or struggles as me, and sure, they might not be as drastic or whatever, but at the same time, to that person, what they're going through might feel exactly as big to them.
It's the exact,
you know, like, you know what I mean, right?
Being gracious is a good thing, man. It's and I struggle with that. Like you're right, man. It's an ego thing or something. Like it's bullshit.
Like, did you have an artist where you kind of like read their story and you were just like, wow?
I think I wouldn't even pinpoint like a particular person, but every single story is like, I had nothing. I put it all on the line for this. But I would actually say...
Drove down to Nashville.
Yeah. And with my last 2 cents.
Yeah.
And I made everything. And I would say, like, in a way, it's like, you know, maybe the finances have... Not maybe. The finances have been easier for me than some of those people. But on the same... Like, my heart is still in it just as much. And there are other sacrifices that I make, whether it be time with friends, time with my girlfriend, time with my family.
Totally.
You know, not driving myself insane, trying to perfect things all the time. Like, I have given things up in other ways. And so I think really, like, not that there needs to be a rite of passage as an artist, but if there is, maybe it's just that you're willing to lay something, whatever it is, on the line because you believe in the value of this thing.
Exactly.
And it doesn't have to be monetary. Like it.
No, exactly.
That's
man.
huge.
Time is the most valuable currency, right?
Yeah.
Time is the only thing you'll never get back in this life. So,
Health.
I totally agree with that.
You know, you look at like Freddie Mercury or whatever, and he's like, in his last music video, he's like legit dying.
Yeah.
He's like white and fucking, he's still like doing it, you know what I mean? Till like his last kind of, I don't know what I'm trying to say, man, but.
No, but the point of like giving up that very important moment to keep pursuing the art, it's like that's his last couple days, and he says like, "This means that much to me." Like that. That's something. That's more than something. That's
Totally,
a huge
man.
thing.
Yeah.
That's inspiring.
That's why my high school yearbook was from Pennywise, and it was "Fight Till You Die." And I was never like a fighter, and like I'm a pussy, man. Like anyway.
But
like,
he is total pussy.
Okay, maybe not a pussy, but what I'm trying to say is, I don't know why I use that quote, and a lot of people were like, "Why'd you? That's stupid. Like you could have done way better than that, right?" But now I think about it, and I'm like, no. Every day is a struggle for me. Like, let's say most days are a struggle to get up, to go to work, to keep going. Right? So, fight till you die is pretty apt, man. Like, it's, you know, I look back now, like, no, I needed to hear that when I'm 43.
Yeah.
When I think back to it now, that's why I wrote it, or, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I love the scrappiness of that. I'm not gonna lie. I love it. Like it's funny because like I said, I came from a place where like it wouldn't make sense that I'm necessarily scrappy, but I connect with that in a way where like I feel like I'm going round for round with myself every day. It's like it's literally like some days I'm literally just stuck in bed, like doing nothing because I can't handle the weight of just me, just existing in my mind with whatever chemical makeup is in there right now. And it's like, I think that fight is like, I think it's more badass than anything. Anybody who just shows up and tags in for another round. That's like,
like I've been through some shit too, but like one of the last songs I started writing, you know, I was actually getting away from the love songs. I remember I started writing it and I was actually really happy that but it's a dark song, but I remember I only came up with a couple lines that were like, sorry?
Village of the Damned?
No. But it's right along that line. No, this is the Ain't No Hell. But like the whole premise for the song was going to be like the devil's trying to like scare me kind of thing. Like the devil's talking to me because I talk to the devil a lot in my mind, or what I perceive to be the devil, which is myself. Anyway, whoa, that got really deep all of a sudden. Jordy's
maybe I'm the problem.
But anyway, like the whole premise, like the whole premise is, but like I picture like a Hunter S. Thompson novel kind of thing or whatever. So some sort of dusty type driving down a road and the devil's talking to me and he's basically just like trying to terrify me, you know, about hell or like what's in store for me or something like that. And like the main chorus line that I had, which was set in stone, like this is what it's going to be. It was just like, there ain't no hell like the one in my mind. So it was kind of saying just like, you know what, man, like you can't scare me.
Yeah, I've been through it.
It's like, yeah, like what's going on up here is just, you know, nonstop torture. And so that line is in my head a lot where it's just like even, you know, today or like whatever, just like going through the motions because it usually comes every day. And that's kind of always in there where I feel damned to this kind of life of darkness, right? And it's just constant battling it. Anyway, yeah, this is getting too dark. I'll probably cut all this shit.
You genuinely don't have to cut it. Like what I would say is like, from a younger perspective, like I know this sounds so like cheesy and Hallmark or whatever, but like hearing you guys say like, hey, we're going through the same thing that you're going through and we're still here now. Like that's insanely inspiring because like as much as I'm here on a podcast trying to like, you know, grow the project and meet cool people in the scene or whatever, dude, tomorrow I could literally want to jump off. Or, like, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, but I'm thinking about these people who feel the same and I'm thinking about the fact that they're here and like, I genuinely find that like, I wish I didn't have to like curse and I had more like brilliant words to say, but I find it so fucking badass. Like actually, no, like it is.
No, I hear you, man.
And so it's like when I'm like, okay, well, these guys are actually playing the same game that I'm playing and they're still here. Like, okay, what makes me different? I'm going to show up too, you know, like it's cool.
Yeah. There definitely is something about it. Right. And like, even like my problem is that sometimes I lose sight that like, I'll like, even after like the years or months or weeks of shit that I might go through, there will be something good to come too. Right. And lately especially lately, I've been guilty of thinking that there is nothing coming again. Good. But it's kind of half-assed. It's not like I'm, you know, saying, oh, nothing good's ever going to happen. Like, I still do have that little bit of reality. Like, okay, I'm sure.
You're not fully sure,
you know,
but you feel a certain way.
Exactly, right? But man, life is good, right? It has its good parts,
life is great.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm genuinely, like, when I came in here, and I don't know if it'll show in my voice or on camera or whatever, I was holding a lot of tension in my body. Like, I was just nervous. It's like, it's new people, and I'm going to say things that, like we talked about, I could look at 2 hours from now and be like, well, why did I say that? That's so stupid. And now, like, I actually, like, I can actually sit back in this chair and just, like I actually feel comfortable in myself and very comfortable with you guys just based off of the few things we've spoken about. And I think, like, I actually do think that is a beautiful and great thing. Like, I'm happier than I was at any other point today, right now. So
that's sick. And me too, actually. Me as well. I feel very at ease right now.
I get surprised every time because every time I come here, I say the same thing. James, I don't know what I'm going to say today.
Yeah,
no, I don't have anything really prepared or nothing. So you know, I feel guilty about that or whatever. And then it's the same thing. But then afterwards, I'm like, fuck, I'm glad I talked to these people, man. Like, you know,
exactly.
You have good things to say. Like, you're inspiring to me, right?
Thank you.
Because you're actually doing what I want to do, which is play music. You know, and I just. So it makes me, like, it's a powerful thing, like you said, right? Like music is a powerful thing, and when you don't feel like you have it anymore to give, it's sad, right? So you wanna, just makes me want to keep trying though. Like fuck, keep recording these little songs on my phone, keep just doing something, you know, like doing this with James, right? Like it's huge for me, man. So yeah, I'm really appreciative of everybody that comes through here, man.
Yeah,
you're so wise beyond your years too.
yeah,
like,
definitely.
I mean, I appreciate that. I don't feel that way, but I thank you for saying that.
And on a shallow note, you got to show the camera your socks because those are pretty dope.
Oh yeah,
This is crazy.
Shit.
Sock reveal.
look at that. Hell yeah.
That's for all you foot fetish guys.
Oh,
out there.
no.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
sorry.
Start up a new.
So actually, I was waiting until I couldn't afford rent to like reveal those, and then, but now
Only foot fans.
it's gone. Like that was my backup plan, and you ruined
I'm
it.
sorry, bro.
Shit.
I'm so sorry.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Sorry, just to kind of change pace here again. You've been playing a lot, and I'm just curious, are you working on new material as well that you're planning on recording?
So that's kind of what this summer is for me. I went straight from high school straight to college, and I went to college for music, but it was like so dense that it was like I maybe wrote 7 or 8 songs in the last 2 years, which is crazy for me because like when I was in the pandemic, for example, I might write 3 songs a day, like actually.
Right. Yeah.
And they might not have been good, but like it just became like I feel like in the last 2 years I've been in such a like receiving like I got stuck before school kind of in like creativity and like I hit kind of like a skill cap. Like I only knew so many chord progressions and strum patterns and vocal ideas and writing ideas, and I just got stuck. So I was like, I need to go somewhere and just shut up and listen for 2 years. And I sort of did that. I mean, I played a lot, so I didn't really shut up. But but I received so much, and now I'm back home, and like I'm playing shows and doing odd jobs to like support myself. But really, I'm taking the entire summer to just like write as much as I can because I haven't had that in so long. And it's like
It's your time to find yourself.
that's what I need, man.
Do you just released like your latest single came out last year? That's Round and Round.
Yeah, I put it out kind of at the end of last year. I spent pretty much the whole summer recording it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, not to get heavy again, because we were just like there. But
it's fine. It's fine.
But
Yeah.
like, dude, I was in such a bad spot when recording that. Like, and it's not just like the lyric matter of it, which kind of reflects, but it, like, I was in such a. I felt like I was in school for music, which already you get so much external judgment for that. You do. Like if you tell people, hey, I'm going to spend money to study music, they're like, what are you doing? Like you shouldn't even be spending any time on it. Like non-musicians I'm talking about.
Totally.
And I really felt like that summer I was like, I need to drop the perfect song to show people and be like, oh, you don't think I'm doing something with my life? Check this song out. I put that much pressure on it. I put the pressure of it needs to be the thing that justifies me. Mm-hmm. Like that's actually where I got to. Mm-hmm. And in the studio, I was probably the worst person to be around. It was really hard. Like I wasn't eating properly or sleeping properly in that kind of month that I was recording. I was so stressed out every day that if I didn't, it wasn't just like there was so many people in my mind that I was like, my high school buddies who are going into what's considered legit careers and things like that. I needed to prove to them that I wasn't just the kid who had a passion for music. I needed them to view me as an artist. Right. I needed my parents, particularly my dad. My mom's a big support. My dad's a big support, but he's a little bit old school. And that weighs on me more than I have time to get into today. But
No worries.
we can talk about that in the future. But he was one of the people, my friend's parents, just other adults in my life. And I really just wanted a piece that said like, because you hear about that, like that, you know, these people who don't understand me going to school for music are the same people who are spending thousands of dollars to see these legendary artists. So I felt like if I could just make a piece of work that put me in their mind to that level, they would just shut up and leave me alone. That's all I wanted was for people to say like, oh, you're not, you know what, you're not an idiot. Like you've got something. Because I didn't feel that way. Like I still don't feel that way. I mean, like I'm proud of the work that I've put in, but I always will be like feeling less now than last year, but I'll always be feeling like I need to do the next thing to prove to somebody that like I'm not just wasting time. because I feel that way on my own some days. I'll wake up and I'll be like, what am I actually doing right now?
Yeah.
So yeah, I got in a really lowest probably place of my life last year where kind of what you guys were talking about before, like it was the first time I didn't like music. Like I was working on a song and I hated it. Like it felt like I was clocking in on something and trying to, and like adding to it and taking away and adding to it. And it was like months and months and months of just like, I put all this pressure on like a song. It's frequencies in the air and words that like could mean nothing to you, could mean something. Like at the end of the day, music is powerful, but dude, don't throw your life away for it. Like don't. And I did, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I wanted my magnum opus at 20 and I didn't get it. I like that song a lot, but I have negative feelings around when I think about it. I feel the weight of how I felt then again. Right. And it's hard for me to kind of get through. It's like almost like a tiny version of PTSD around how I was treating myself at that time.
Right. Yeah. No, I can totally understand that, man. I do think it's a great track. Like I think you nailed it for sure. And honestly, I think with a lot of artists, you know, like yourself, you've got the talent, you've got the creativity, you got the originality. It's the exposure thing, right? But I firmly believe, like just like I said to Shane too, like, you know, if your music was out there to like the masses, it would be successful, man. It definitely would. You. It's because it's got everything that's needed for it. And so I would definitely encourage you to keep going. And I
appreciate that.
Even in those times, where you hate music and you want to quit.
I like that song too. I don't know if I already said this, but all the things I didn't do.
Oh yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So smooth, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was my middle school, early high school heartbreak. So it's all there on that record.
Yeah.
Smooth,
what about that All I Ever Wanted?
Oh yeah.
When was that from? Was that
okay? This is gonna be somehow the only lighthearted story that I'm gonna tell today.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
I mean, I'm open to tell more, but I had a paper route when I was growing up. I say this at shows all the time. Like, I actually don't know how paper routes are legal for children, and let me get into it. Let me explain. Although I believe in hard work, if you calculate how long it takes a little kid to move all those papers, lift them, drop them off at all those houses, and how many hours it takes them with their tiny legs and tiny arms to do that, it is severely below minimum wage. Like, because you're lifting all that, like, by yourself, lifting all this stuff. Like, it would take me, honestly, 4 hours, 5 hours to complete the route every week. And I was like 12 or 13. And I don't remember what I would get paid, but it was terrible. It was like, it was my first job, so it was cool, but it was terrible. So I started playing a game where could I write a song before I got home? Because I got that bored. Like, I was just so bored. Yeah. So that was the only song that I liked from that process of writing while walking. I didn't have an instrument. I had my phone, and if I had a melody or lyric idea, I'd pull out voice notes and do that while going. And then eventually, chords are often implied under a melody, and you can kind of go home and play along to your voice note and try and figure it out. And that's the only one I liked from
Crazy.
that.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Thanks.
Written on a paper route, man. That's sick.
I like the dynamic. Well, I guess like all yours, like you've got a great sense of when to be dynamic too, right? Like with your builds, like because in that song too, it has that kind of unexpected
rock bridge.
Yeah, I was like, fuck yeah, man. Oh yeah, I love that shit. Well, I think we're about time here.
I was just gonna give my opinion, but that's.
Oh, were you really?
No, I was.
I think you were.
Yeah, what were you gonna say, Joe?
Do it for me. I want to hear it.
Yeah, he wants to hear it.
It's like.
Honestly, I think no matter what you're playing, as long as you just get up there and you just are basically giving off the energy of I don't give a fuck what you think about me.
That's the thing.
This is my shit.
Unapologetic.
Unapologetic. This is who I am.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
I don't have that. I'll apologize for everything.
Jordy has to apologize every 10 minutes. It's a condition he has. It's a condition.
But no, it's true. Like that's
sorry for
what
apologizing.
You need. Yeah, dude, it's legit.
I get that.
I've had buddies like, "Shut the fuck up, Jordy! Like, stop apologizing."
I've done that. I've said that. So
you're the buddy.
Yeah. So yeah,
I do it nicely nowadays though. I just be like, dude, you don't have to say sorry. It's all good. No problem.
Yeah, that's true.
But no, like, yeah,
you softened up on me through the years.
I have, yeah. But honestly, man, like, I don't know. I think your music is great already, and you are young. You're 20. And when, like I say, I was listening to that song Merch, realizing he was probably only 16, 17 when he wrote this one and had it all done too. Like the way it's produced and everything. It sounds pro. It sounds great. It sounds real. So lock in. I'm going to point at you when I say it. Drew, your songs are kick-ass. You're kick-ass, right? Keep going. We're definitely going to have you back if that's cool with you.
I would love to.
Yeah?
I would love to.
Okay, cool. That's good.
The
Because that'd be
space is
really
always
rude if you
available too,
said
right?
no. What?
James always says the space is always available
Yeah,
for
yeah.
you to come back.
Yeah, so
and
for all the guests, like, you're always welcome. Like, if I'm not doing anything, just, call me up. Be like, hey, I want to come and do a live recording. You can use all the equipment.
Cool.
I'll be here engineering for you. It's all free of charge. You don't have to pay anything. I don't want anything, in fact. That's part of my program because I am an addict in absolutely everything I do in life. So I need to keep myself busy with things that are actually productive.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a win already. You don't have to ever feel like you're putting me out or anything like that. Did you want to go in and try playing a song for us, everybody?
Yeah, I would love to.
Now, Drew didn't bring his guitar, so this is totally unrehearsed, everyone. Just want to let everyone know he's doing this out of the goodness of his heart
acapella
to try and bring some views to the Poets Garden podcast. So, thank you so much, Drew Storey. Everybody check him out. Follow him on his socials. All right? Yeah?
Sweet.
All right, let's do this.
Right on.
Peace.
Turning point for progress, a fork stuck in the road. A little flashing light that says screen and time to go. I'm looking out for something, but nothing feels like home, and all I know is I know nothing anymore. And all my friends are getting hired, I don't see them anymore. I think they're getting tired of my downer behavior, and I'd like to be just like them. Change my hair and my decor. For now I'm sure I know nothing anymore. So here I am, I'm standing next to nothing. Here I am, wishing I was sure. Here I am, where I'll stand with my head down in the sand. All I know is I know nothing anymore. I found a girl and I fell in love. You see, it all goes with the plan. But should I move out onto campus and put a ring upon her hand? Though I'd like to think that someday I will be a better man, I understand that I know nothing anymore. So here I am, I'm standing next to nothing. Here I am, wishing I was sure. Here I am, where I'll stand with my head down in the sand. All I know is I know nothing anymore. Oh, all I know is I know nothing anymore. Oh, all I know is I know nothing. But maybe someday I'll know something. No, all I know is I know nothing anymore. Thank you.
The Poets Garden podcast is produced and recorded by me, James Donnelly, at the Poets Garden Studio in Mission, BC. You can subscribe and rate us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and almost everywhere else. You can also find us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. To avoid potential legal action, the Poets Garden podcast is not sponsored by the Penny Coffee Shop, yet. So next time you're in Mission, stop by the Penny for a coffee or a gluten-free brownie and say you heard about them on the Poets Garden podcast. Thank you for listening.